Hey everybody, it's Brian here. How's everyone doing? I wanted to start showing everybody this clip. Last night the Republican debate happened. Last night was a clear victory. There was three clear losers and one clear winner. Christie was the winner of the debate. This is the best debate performance that I've seen out of any debates. Like, this was literally Christie dominated the stage. You had Nikki Haley, who was as quiet as a mouse the whole time, and you had Vivek Ramaswamy and you had Vivek Ramaswamy and Ron DeSantis getting owned by Christie. Literally, he went at them on everything. He went on Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't agree with him on foreign policy, but he went at Vivek. He even stuck up for Nikki Haley, which, you know what, I can agree with that, actually. You know what? Okay, it's one thing to challenge Nikki Haley's character. It's one thing to challenge her record or challenge what she's running on. But Vivek Ramaswamy was basically calling her stupid. You should never criticize someone on their basic intelligence. All right, you want to criticize her? Say, oh, you did this as governor, or as you an ambassador, you sucked at that. This policy sucks. Your character sucks. But to criticize someone on their basic intelligence, I'm actually glad Christie, especially a woman, do that to a woman. That's just wrong. No matter how much you disagree with her on this. As much as I hate Kamala Harris, if I was on the debate stage with Nikki Haley or Kamala Harris or any woman, or anybody, and they were just being criticized by someone like that, I would rip that person apart that was doing that. And this was Christie's stage last night. It really was. I mean, I would say in second, like not even a close second, like a very far second, would maybe be DeSantis. But I'm gonna finish this clip out, and then we'll talk more after it.
Nobody can hear this. No one can hear you. They can't hear you. You finish, and then you get it back.
All right. Look, I'm a simple guy. Okay? I hear the question, and I answer it. Is he fit, or isn't he? I'll concede you're fit, Ron. You're a new generation. You're 44 years old. I wish I was still 44 years old. Okay?
45.
So, well, congratulations. I'd still take 45. Is he fit or isn't he? And this is the problem with my three colleagues. They're afraid to offend. And let me tell you something. If you're afraid to offend Donald Trump, then what are you going to do when you sit across from President Xi, you sit across from the Ayatollah, you sit across from Putin? You have to be willing to offend with the truth.
Okay.
And answer the question.
It's true. You know, that is such a question of character. You know, if you're too scared to stand up to Trump, how are you going to stand up to Putin or President Xi or Kim Jong-un or any other country that's not an ally or even the Speaker of the House? How are you going to do that if you're too scared to stand up to Trump? You know, DeSantis, Haley, and Vivek Ramaswamy have the same idea. They are hoping that Trump either gets arrested and can't run anymore, or they're hoping that he will just randomly drop out, and all the supporters will go to him if they're nice. No, that's not how it works. Now listen, I'm not saying insult your way up there. All I'm saying is you cannot think that you're going to get the nomination of a party without challenging the person that's in front. Now listen, I understand they were attacking Nikki Haley. She's a rising star in the party. She's raising money rising in the polls, so as they should. But their number one focus should be Trump. I mean, he's got on average in most states a 40-some point lead. The closest state is New Hampshire. It's like an 11-point lead, but that's still tremendous. Well, I don't know why they're just ignoring him. I'm going to tell you some polls. It was in the state of South Carolina, Nikki Haley's home state that she was the two-term governor in. She's at 14%. 14%. The most recent poll has Donald Trump at 64% and a 50-point lead on her. Nikki Haley's in second with 14%. Christie's in third with 9%. DeSantis is in fourth with 8%. And Vivek Ramaswamy's also in fourth with 8%, tied with DeSantis. And Asa Hutchinson's at 1%. And then in New Hampshire, it's the closest one. It's an 11-point lead. Christie is in second again in New Hampshire. He's at 20%. And Trump's in first place with 31%. And then Nikki Haley's in third with 18%. And the rest, Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, Asa Hutchinson, are all below 10%. They're all at 5%. Same thing in Iowa. Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis are both tied at 10%. And Trump's in the 60s. He's got an 11-point lead in New Hampshire. And he's leading in most other states by 30, 40 points. And to just think that, oh, I'm just going to dance around him, I'm going to be friendly, I'm going to be real nice to him, give him credit, and eventually he'll drop out and endorse me, or something will happen, or in 2028 I'll be everything. It's that, and it's also the factor of they're terrified that they'll never be able to hold a political office again. That's what they're scared of. They're scared that if they run for president again, their chance will be doomed. They're scared they won't stand any chance at all in any other election, Senate, governor, anything. That he'll piss off the supporters. They're terrified of that. You see, Chris Christie's relentless. He could care less how much he gets booed, how much he gets made fun of, how if he can never hold a political office again, whatever. He don't care. He's the only Republican that is telling the truth. Now listen, people say, oh, Asa Hutchinson. Yes, you know what, Asa Hutchinson has pointed some things out, but Asa Hutchinson, and answer the question that if he's convicted, Asa Hutchinson said he wouldn't support him. Asa Hutchinson won't answer the question of if he will support him if he's not convicted. He refuses to answer that. So, Chris Christie is the only one that said no, convicted or not. He's not getting my endorsement or my vote. Oh, he's dangerous. And it's so terrible that you initially have 3 other candidates, on a technicality 4, that refuse to go after him. They just think that, I'm going to dance around him. I don't want to get booed. It is crap. It just is. Like, grow up hair, get some guts, grow some balls, man up, and in Nikki Haley's case, woman up and stand your ground. Criticize him. Call him out for January 6th. Call him out for running us so much in debt more. Call him out for failing as a president during COVID and stuff. Call him out on these things. Call him out for being a criminal. Don't be afraid. Me, if I was in this race as a YouTuber, former governor, whatever, I would be relentless. You think Christie's rude and honest? I would be relentless. I would be going at Trump on everything. I wouldn't care how many boos I got. I wouldn't care how low my poll numbers got. I would tell the truth. All the way up to I'd stay till the Republican convention, and I would tell the truth. You know, some people can't handle the truth. Some people don't like the truth. You know, and if you're a Trump supporter, I'm not trying to offend you. You know, I completely understand. You know, if he's your favorite president, or if you agree with his policies and stuff, I can totally understand you don't want to hear someone say something bad about him. But it's the truth. The truth needs to matter. These things are true. He ran us over $8 trillion in debt. He failed to lead during the COVID pandemic. So did Biden, but that's a different story. He did not finish the border wall. He raised taxes. He didn't gain jobs in the country. He sent jobs overseas. He never fired Fauci. He made this country a worse place to live. He divided us. And yes, he lost the 2020 election. Lost it. There was no voter fraud or interference. He lost the election, point blank. And you got Vivek Ramaswamy over here saying, oh, January 6th was an inside job. You know what, Vivek? You are damn right. It was an inside job. It was an inside job from Donald Trump and his cronies trying to overturn an election that they lost. It was him. Donald Trump lost the election, and he wanted to overturn it. Mike Pence and the Attorney General wouldn't cooperate with him because they believe in the Constitution. Brian Kemp in Georgia wouldn't cooperate. The governors wouldn't. The Congress wouldn't. So that was his last goal. That was his last chance. Otherwise, he knew he was out, and look at him. He's out now. He's a citizen. He knew that. It was an inside job from Trump, because he couldn't be a real president. He couldn't be a man. Seriously. Trump is such a coward. He is. He's literally the biggest coward in the world that I know. You know, he literally... You have him not attending the debates, 4 debates that he's been invited to, qualified for and been invited to, refuses to attend. There's so many town halls he's been offered that he refuses to attend because he doesn't want to face Chris Christie or tough questions, because he knows Chris Christie's going to be relentless. Chris Christie's going to be relentless, and he is going to rip him shred from shred, just like he did Vivek and Ron. He is. And you have another thing that he was a coward on. I mean, he wouldn't even at least call Joe Biden and say, hey man, congratulations on your victory, or not even, you didn't have to say congratulations, you could have just said, hey, I'm conceding the election, like, I wish you luck as president. Like, you couldn't even do that. He didn't even have the balls to do that. What a coward. And then you got Vivek Ramaswamy, who said to go eat a nice meal to Chris Christie and get the hell out of this race. Okay, whatever, you want to talk about looks? I'm sure Chris Christie can say a lot of things about your looks. You know, you act like you go to the gym. You sure as hell don't look like it. You look like you haven't eaten in years. Or, you know, I don't talk about appearance, but, okay. Attack someone on their character. Attack them on their beliefs. Attack them on their record. Don't ever attack somebody on their appearance. Do you have Chris Christie attacking you, saying you look like you're bulimic? Do you have him doing that? Is Chris Christie attacking you about how ugly your face is? I don't think he is. But that's a different story. You know, it's just, what does the party become? You know, you have so few Republicans, the fact that there's one candidate the entire time that's willing to do this, and then you have DeSantis. He won't even answer the question. The girl was point blank. Do you think he's fit or do you not think he's fit to be president? And DeSantis goes on, well, I did this and I was governor. I'm governor of Florida and I did this. And, Donald Trump pushing 80, but won't answer the question. It's yes or no. If that was me in Ron DeSantis' shoes, I'd say, hell no, he's not. He's too old. He's a criminal. He does not belong anywhere near the White House or any elected office. I'd be flat out. I wouldn't care how much the audience boos. I would tell the truth. It's yes or no. It's simple. And Chris Christie owned doing it. I really wish Chris Christie would have been like this in the first 3 debates because I think he'd be doing better in the polls. We'll see if this helps him a lot. He was getting a lot of cheers. He got booed once, but he was getting a lot of cheers from the audience. And they actually, when Vivek Ramaswamy was going at Chris Christie, they were cheering for, or they were booing Vivek Ramaswamy. So, I mean, I don't see it happening. I think he's got just as much of a shot as the other Republicans, but, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Chris Christie said the other day that he's staying till the convention. I guess he took my advice. I mean, I don't think he ever heard me say that, but I told him, stay till the convention. I didn't tell him directly, but I said this on video. And he said the other day in the CNN interview he intends on staying until the wit's end, to the Republican convention, maybe even and going to the convention as a candidate still. He said he plans to do that. He is going. I guess he feels like he's fighting for the Republican Party. Now I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to say this. If DeSantis gets more than 10%, he stays in the race. If he gets more than 10% in the state of Iowa, which that's an embarrassment, I think he'll stay in the race. If he doesn't get more than 10% in Iowa, I think he's out. I think he'll suspend his candidacy because I think that he's smart enough to know that he's not going to stand a chance. Vivek Ramaswamy, I think he's probably going to stick around maybe till Super Tuesday. We're going to see how he does. I think he's going to drop out soon. I think the 3 candidates. I also think Asa Hutchinson will be out soon. The 3 candidates that I'm thinking that are going to be in this for the long run, like past Super Tuesday, Trump obviously, Christie and Haley. I think those are the 3 they're the only 3. I don't like Nikki Haley or Trump at all. There's a lot I don't like about Chris Christie either, but they're the only 3 candidates that are actually polling at decent numbers. I mean, Vivek Ramaswamy is now at 4% in Iowa. 4%. Now, Christie isn't much higher, but still 4%. At least Christie and Haley are reaching double digits. DeSantis only has 1 state where he's in double digits. So, my prediction is Christie's going to I still think Christie's going to end up winning New Hampshire. I don't care. I just think he's going to win. I think Trump's still going to be the nominee. But, yeah. They're all... I'm going to make a video on this of why I don't think Nikki Haley's going to be the nominee. But they're all freaking out, saying, not like going crazy, saying, oh, she just got the Koch brothers endorsement. That's a huge endorsement. Yeah, it is. They can give you a lot of money to spend, but a lot of times when the Koch brothers endorse candidates, the candidates don't usually end up winning. I can give you multiple examples of candidates that were endorsed by the Koch brothers that didn't win. And way back in 1976, Gerald Ford, who was the current president, and not because he was elected, it's because he took over for Richard Nixon, the Koch brothers endorsed him. He lost the election to Jimmy Carter. Then 4 years later, one of the Koch brothers was actually the running mate for Ed Clark, the Libertarian nominee. They didn't win. Then again in 1996, they endorsed Bob Dole. Bob Dole lost to Bill Clinton. They did it again in 2008 with John McCain. John McCain lost to Barack Obama. They did it again and spent a lot of money in 2012, and Mitt Romney lost to Barack Obama. So the Koch brothers endorsement, yes, it might get you a lot of money to air ads and stuff and get you far, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. It's really not. I don't think it is. Maybe since she's going to have a lot more money, maybe she's going to be able to air ads and talk more to voters and stuff, but I really don't think this is going to happen. I think that the best bet for anybody, I think there's 3 potential, but I think the best bet is New Hampshire. New Hampshire is the only state that Trump is polling in the high 20s, low 30s, where he's not 20, 30, 40, 50 points ahead, and where the candidates actually stand a shot at taking him on there. That's the only state. There's some that say, oh, DeSantis will be able to take on Iowa. I would be rallying. I think an endorsement that could really help somebody. He might endorse Haley, he might endorse Christie. He spoke at both the rallies and stuff. I think that if Chris Sununu, the governor of New Hampshire, were to endorse one of them, I think that would really help them. Because he, when you would throw him in polls there, when he was still floating the idea of running for president, never did, unfortunately, he would beat Trump by 5-6 points. He'd beat him. He's extremely popular there, so I would say his endorsement could make a huge impact. I think he would endorse Christie. I know he's spoken at both their rallies before, but I'm hoping he endorses Christie. Him and Christie, because Chris Sununu is one of the few Republicans left in the country that's actually willing to speak out against Trump. I mean, you have so many that just aren't. I mean, hold on, I just want to get a sip of water. Sorry, just parched. You have so many Republicans that just don't want to do anything about it. I mean, if you look at it. Okay, you have Brian Kemp in Georgia. All right, yeah, Brian Kemp stood up to Trump. He said, no, I am going to certify the votes. All right, good for him. But he hasn't said a damn thing wrong about Trump since. The only true Republicans that are left that are sticking up to Trump, that are either running for office or are in office, is Chris Christie running for president, the Cheneys, Liz Cheney and Dick, which they're both out of office, and Chris Sununu, and Mitt Romney, and I guess Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski. But that's what? 6 or 5? Yeah. It's 5 people. I'm sorry, there's 6. There's 6 people. I counted wrong. Total of 6 people. It's either in elected office or running for office or just has a big voice that's willing to stand up to him. 6 Republicans. Only 6 Republicans. That is so sad. What has this party come to? The Republican Party used to be the party of freedom, of small government, common sense, finding middle ground on things, unity, telling the truth. That's what the Republican Party was founded on when Abraham Lincoln. That's how the majority of the Republican presidents were. Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, Dwight Eisenhower, Ronald Reagan. But now the party has just... It's no longer the party... This is not the party of Abraham Lincoln or Ronald Reagan anymore. It's not. This is the party of lying and cowards. It is. Imagine if Ronald Reagan was in this race. If he was still alive and was able to run. Do you think he would be standing up to Trump? You're damn right he would. It just sucks that these candidates are so scared. Listen, I can kind of understand. You know, you're running for president. You know, Trump supporters are sometimes tough to talk to. They really like him. You don't want to take a chance of pissing them off. But that's not how politics works. It's not. Did Trump do it in 2016? No, he didn't. Trump didn't care if he pissed off Chris Christie supporters then, or Jeb Bush supporters, or Rand Paul supporters, or Carly Fiorina, or Marco Rubio supporters, or John Kasich, or Ted Cruz supporters, or any other candidate that ran. He didn't care. Ben Carson. He didn't care if he pissed off those supporters. Trump went at him, and that's how he got the nomination. Did Biden care if he pissed off Bernie Sanders supporters, or Elizabeth Warren supporters, or Tulsi Gabbard, or Kamala Harris supporters? No. He went at him. That's how you get a nomination. It's what Mitt Romney did in 2012. Did Mitt Romney? I mean, Mitt Romney didn't win, but did Mitt Romney care if he pissed off Ron Paul or Newt Gingrich supporters? No. That's not how you run a presidential campaign. You cannot hide behind things. You know, DeSantis tries to. Listen. Flat out, I can say this. I don't know DeSantis personally, but I know damn well, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on this, that he wants to go at Trump. He wants to be like Christie, even more than that. He wants to be real with it. He wants to. That's why he drops little hints and says tad bad things about him sometimes. But he's so scared that he might get booed off the stage. He might not qualify for the next debate. He might not get anywhere if he'd run for president again. He might not ever stand a chance at winning any office, whether it be senator, president, whatever. That if the supporters will boo him all the time. He's terrified of that. And if you're terrified of that, you should not be nowhere near the White House or governor's desk or Senate if you're terrified of offending somebody. Now, listen, I didn't mean to go off topic there. I talked about Nikki Haley, if she'd win or not, and what and that. But to say this debate, this was by far the most entertaining debate. I think they're gonna. This is a lot better. You know, I will give this to the moderators. The moderators did much better on this debate than the other. It still was a little chaotic, but in the other debates, yes, this was debate with the least candidates. The first one had what 11, second one had 7, the last one had 5. This one only had 4. So we're going to have to see. I will say this much. I think the next debate stage might only have 3 on it. They're not saying there's not any scheduled yet. I'm assuming they're going to do one before Iowa, like a couple days before, maybe the night before. I'm assuming that, maybe the week before. I would hope they would. They usually do. I don't know if they will though. Oh, I think Christie after this debate has guaranteed him a spot on that stage. I wish he would have done this the whole time, but I do think Christie will be there. Nikki will probably still be there, and I sit and question if Ron and Vivek are going to be up there. I do. I think what you see. The thing with Vivek is he had his trend. He did. Vivek had his moment. He really, I mean, he didn't get really far, but like, I mean, when he was tied with DeSantis in second place nationally and all that, he had his moment. But it just doesn't work for him. Every time he goes at Christie or Haley or DeSantis, he gets booed. You know, at first they loved it, but like, he's going at the wrong person. You know that, right? They all are, but I mean, Vivek, you know, you're sucking Trump's feet. Not going to get you anywhere. Now, something else I wanted to answer on here, or say on here, was, there's people speculating that Christie, since he defended Nikki Haley last night in that brief moment, that he might, if he doesn't do well in New Hampshire, drop out, and if she's still a candidate, throw his support behind her and try to be her running mate or get a cabinet position or something. That's what people are saying. Could be true, but I think that he's just doing it to be a human being. It's fine if you're attacking somebody on their character. It's fine if you're attacking them on their record or their beliefs, or their policies. But to attack someone on 2 things, their basic intelligence and their appearance, like Vivek was doing, I think that disqualifies you. You know, are you gonna say that to Kim Jong Un? Oh, you're fat. You're gonna say to Kim Jong Un, oh, go eat a nice meal. No, that would get us into a war. So, you know, Vivek Ramaswamy, you know, I will give him this on foreign policy. He's amazing. Him not wanting to ban TikTok is amazing. He's young. That's awesome. But he is literally a fascist. He's a misogynistic fascist. He wants to outlaw marijuana nationwide. He wants to outlaw abortion nationwide. He wants to pardon Donald Trump, who is a felon. He wants to pardon all the people that stormed our Capitol. Oh no, try to overturn the election. He wants to get laws passed that governors can overturn elections. And he wants to get rid of so many elements of the government. He's just trying to appeal to Trump supporters. He is. You know, DeSantis said, and you wrote something bad about it in the book, get the book that Vivek Ramaswamy released in 2020. Or 2021, rather. He tells in it about how Donald Trump failed America. He does. You know, he's only doing this because there's an opening. I can guarantee you that if this was the opposite way around and, like, this was the Democratic Party, and, like, they had an open primary, he would be, and, like, for example, let's just take this whole thing out of it. Let's say President Biden wasn't seeking re-election. Let's say President Biden decided, oh, I'm not going to do this. But let's say, you know, Kamala Harris was running for him. Vivek Ramaswamy would be in that primary, praising Biden and Harris, praising them, talking about how great they are, and being so far left progressive. That's what he'd be doing. He's only doing this for attention. Attention and to make profit. You know, listen, I went around thinking, is Vivek Ramaswamy doing what the other candidates are doing? Is he hoping Trump's going to fall apart? Is he maybe hoping to get a cabinet position? Maybe get a job on Fox News? Maybe run for president again or run for some other office with Trump's endorsement? No, I don't believe that. I believe the only reason, there's 2 reasons why Vivek Ramaswamy is running for president. He is trying, for attention is the first thing, and profit. He's not doing this to, you know, do things good. You know, he's probably positioning for a job on Fox News or something, or on Newsmax. That's really what he's doing. I genuinely believe that he does not want to be president. You know, I don't like Ron DeSantis, and I don't like Nikki Haley. And there's lots I don't like about Chris Christie and Asa Hutchinson, and you know Trump too. Even though Trump wants to get even with people, but I will say this about these four candidates: they genuinely want to be president, whether you like him or not. But Vivek is doing this for attention and money. He's not doing this to try to make a difference in America. He's doing it to get attention. That's all he's doing. He's one of them kids in the class that always tries to fight with the teacher, praises certain people, to try to get attention from other students and the teacher. That's what he is. He's obnoxious and he's ignorant and he's a douchebag that doesn't belong anywhere near the White House, governor's office, school board, whatever. He doesn't belong near any of that. And he's a douchebag. That's all I have to say. So, ranking the candidates, Christie came in first, clear first. DeSantis came in a very distant second. Haley came in third, and Vivek came in fourth. That's how I say the debate went. Ranking the candidates now and how I'd vote, Christie would be my number one. Asa would be my number two, Asa Hutchinson. Ron would be my number three. I would still rather have Ron over Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley would be number four. Vivek would be number five, and Trump would be number six. That would be my list. You know, I'm starting to go back and forth. You know, I might actually rather have Trump over Vivek Ramaswamy, because I don't know. I think Vivek Ramaswamy could be even more dangerous than Trump is. Because, you know, at least with Trump, you know, trust me, I'm not supporting Trump at all. I'm far from a Trump supporter. I do not plan on endorsing him or voting for him. Never have, never will. But at least you know what you're getting with Trump. You know you're getting a coward. Vivek is trying to paint himself as this hero or whatever, and he is far from that. He's just this... I don't know what he is. But people don't know the truth about him. He's a snake. That's what he is, a snake. Alright, everybody, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Really do. Thanks for everything. 48 subs. I cannot thank you more. Thank you for all the views that everyone gives me. Thanks for the likes and comments. Even if they're nasty comments still, thank you for taking the time to give my video attention and effort. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Alright, everyone. Please like this video. Please share this video. Leave a comment on this video. And most importantly, please subscribe to the channel. Alright, thanks everybody. Have a good day. And Chris Christie or RFK Jr., one of those two. All the other people, Biden, Trump, Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, they all suck.